Hello, welcome to the Grace Space. I'm Marisa Johnson, and this is day 12, y'all, of my 30-day challenge of showing up for myself. And today, I want to dig a little deeper into fasting. I know, you keep hearing me talk about it, but I am still fasting. So it's definitely on the top of my mind, and just really how fasting isn't just about discipline or health for me, but it's about clarity, alignment, and truly hearing God's voice. And fasting isn't just something, that acquires physical benefits. It's something that I do and something that I feel more so called to do at any given time. Yes, I usually do it at the top of the year, but it can literally be at any time of my life where I am more so called to fast. And when I know I need guidance, when I need clarity, when I need breakthrough, when I feel out of control, when my mind is just over consuming, that's when I know it's time to fast. One thing, as I've been fasting for a couple years now, and I'm trying to go deeper within that, is I don't see a lot of deep teaching about fasting in the Western church. Fasting and praying these days, it's something mentioned obviously in different books of the Bible, or maybe like a collective fast. But I don't see people really talking about what it means to fully surrender in fasting, whether it be 3 days, 20 days, 40 days. I haven't seen that. I've seen it in other religions, which always sparks my curiosity of wow, that's amazing, But for me, fasting is my way, at least, to show up, for God. God, I'm here. God, I'm listening. God, what do you want from me? It's clearly something. And every time I fast, it's because I feel like I'm being called to something bigger. And if I feel like I'm called, that means God has something to give me, whether it's an answer, a revelation, or a shift in my spirit. If I'm being called to do something, you got something for me. So what is that? And that's the hard part, right? Of what is that? One of the most powerful things about fasting is how clear God's voice becomes. The noise of the distractions, the doubts, everything just starts to just quiet down. And in that silence, I actually can hear him very loud and clear. It strengthens my confidence when I stop everything, I strip everything away from me and I see myself for who I really am and where I need to grow in those areas. And trust me, that's always not pretty. That is very hard to see who you are for what you are, and areas that you're not doing so well, right? Where there's an opportunity for you to be better. And that is not always easy to digest for people. It helps me break my bad habits, whether it's procrastination, self-doubt, which I struggle with so much, or relying on things that just don't serve me anymore. Shedding yourself to the core is hard. Take it for me. It is hard. But in fasting, it does reveal truth. And sometimes, about situations, sometimes about myself, sometimes it's about people, but it does reveal those areas very clearly because it forces you to, again, slow down and see things for what they really are. Right now, I'm not gonna lie. Look, I got my liquid right here. I am on day 41 of my fast. Okay, hold on. And I'm still seeking. I originally set out to do 40 days. I had a few hiccups and I was like, you know what? Those few hiccups, it doesn't equate to an extra 20 days, but I heard God say add 20 days. And I don't take that as like a punishment or anything like that. It's just like, you still need to seek me. And what he told me was, I see you keep trying to revert back to your ways, and I need those to die. I need you to know that you can no longer be and serve the things that you once served going into this next phase. So go ahead, girl, and continue this fast. And I don't know exactly what the other side of this looks like, but I know God does. And I am very confident right now that it's greater than what my assumption is. So what heart do you really want is what I have to ask myself. What hard, Marisa, do you really want? And you guys should ask yourself that too, right? Do I want to stay stuck? Do I want to stay broke? Like, I'm not saying I'm broke, but do I want to stay broke? Do I want to stay insecure? I have a ton of insecurities that I no longer need to believe in. Like, they're not real. Do I want to stay unhealthy, right? I've talked about this before, where it's like, I'm turning 40. Like, you could really start to develop things that you never had to worry about in your younger age. And do I want that for myself? No, absolutely not. Or do I want the hard to be rooted in God? And, fasting is like one of those things where, yeah, it's not easy, but what hard do I want to choose? And fasting is hard, but also staying in the same place is hard. And so if there is one thing I know, it's that God meets us in our sacrifice, and he knows what I need. He knows what I want. I don't. I think I do sometimes, but I really don't know. I don't have these answers. So thanks for letting me share that. Like, that was a lot for me. But if you're in this season, where you're seeking clarity, you need direction, or you're feeling stuck, maybe this is your sign to go seek God in fasting and prayer. I can say that for certainty. I don't have all the answers, but I do know this. When you take that step towards him, he always meets you where you are at. And so I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep listening, and I'm going to believe that my answers are coming. And, do I think about food? Yeah, all the time. I be looking at food all the time. But in this next 20 days that I'm stretching this out, I really have to focus on the fast at hand. I really need to seek more prayer. One thing that I also looked, I said, how often do Muslims pray? Because I always I'll be in areas and I'll see a Muslim get down and pray. And so I looked into that, and it said 5 times a day. I'm not Muslim. I'm not trying to really identify with anything at this time, but like, I have been raised as a Christian, and there are some things in other religions that I really admire. And so what I did is I added a 5 times a day alarm to my iPhone, because I was like, you know what, if I'm going to do this next 20 days, I need to go hard. I need to go hard, and I need to add more prayer to my days, because there's some days where I'm not praying. And if you're not praying and I'm just dieting, then in that case, I'm just not eating food. And so I went ahead and I added, a five times a day alarm to just stop, say a prayer, get on my knees, and just thank God. And I'm hoping that, that will just add another layer to this fasting and praying that I've never included. Is 5 days to pause, or 5 times a day to just pause and thank God for all that he has done for me and my family. So if you've ever fasted for clarity or had a breakthrough, please let me know in the comments. Don't leave me out here by myself, talking to myself. I would love to know, what you guys are experiencing, what you want to hear more from me. I would love to dig deeper, but if this is something that you even, care about. But till next time, this is the Grace Space. This is a place for healing, for growth, for alignment. You are capable, you are worthy, and you are already enough. So keep going, and I will see you next episode.